Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Dhamma of Peace series number 28. Perfecting the 5 controlling mental faculties. Part 1. Attaining vipassana insight and path wisdom is all about developing the 5 controlling mental faculties, Pincha Indriya, to perfection by balancing verifiable faith against wisdom and effort against concentration, with continuous, constant, unbroken, precise mindfulness. So those 5 mental faculties are the key points of attaining liberation. We must know how to develop perfectly. And we are going to discuss how to do it in a series of part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, whatever necessary. The 5 controlling mental faculties, Pinchendriya in Pali, are verifiable faith, saddha, ardent effort, viriya, precise mindfulness, sati, momentary concentration, samadhi, and wisdom or insight, pinya in Pali. Those are the 5. Those 5 mental factors are a part of the 52 mental factors, but they are critical for our liberation. To achieve this perfection of mental faculties, first and foremost, a yogi must observe and note. Observe and note, to experience the arising and disappearing of mental and physical phenomena. In other words, for this mental and physical phenomenon is mind and body, Dhamma and Rupa. And where does one observe? It observes in this, the body from head to toe. Within that body, one observe and one note. So we all know what we observe and note in Mahasi tradition. We note and observe rising movement and falling movement of the abdomen, sitting posture, touch sensation, lifting movement, pushing movement, dropping movement, and also feelings, Vedana, and thinking, thoughts. Because thoughts are representative of the consciousness. When you are observing your thoughts, when you can observe the thought, you are observing the consciousness of that moment. And why, when you observe and note, one must incline the mind to experience the cessation. Not only you observe, you are observing, let's say, rising movement. And put your effort to see the end of the rising movement. Falling movement, observe the whole thing from the beginning to the end, but observe the end, the cessation of that falling movement. In other words, every object you observe from the beginning to the end, with an emphasis on seeing the end, cessation, or cessation. Pardon my pronunciation. By doing so, your progress will be a lot quicker and faster. Of course, you don't have to, but if you do, your progress will be a lot faster. And when one focuses on the object, whatever object may be of the present moment, must be penetrative and thorough. Penetrative and thorough. It means you don't just observe it carelessly, superficially. Oh, I know, it's come, it's gone. That's one thing. Penetratively and thoroughly mean one observes it and knows the moment of its arising. And then there's a little period carrying on towards the end. You know that too, the middle. And then the end, or the disappearance of the object. You know that too. That is the movement. But when you observe penetrative and thoroughly, you can and you will see many other factors, many other details other than movement along with it. And when you see, when you sense, when you feel those things, then you are observing penetratively and thoroughly. Otherwise, it is simply casually and superficially. You think you know, you think you observe, you think you are doing the right thing, but not deep enough, penetrative enough to see the intricacy of the object. That is how one must observe. We talk about observe the cessation of every object. Yeah. The way it's said is incline your mind. Incline your mind towards a cessation. It doesn't mean that you must look for it, search for it, expect it. No, you must not do that way. Incline the mind means, to put it in an example, let's say you are typing on your computer and in 5 minutes from now you have to go and do something very important. So you need to get up from there. So what you did was, you put a little alarm or a little reminder to beep when the 5 minutes come. You put it in and then you type. And while you are typing, you are not aware of or you are not thinking about that 5 minutes. You are not waiting for the 5 minutes to come. You are not expecting or searching for that 5 minutes to come. But when the 5 minutes arrive, automatically beep beep. So that's a good example of inclining the mind towards cessation. Before your meditation, you make up your mind. I'll put my best effort to see and experience a cessation. Strong determination. And then you just keep on doing what you're doing, observing and noting without thinking about sensation. But when you incline the mind like that, another mental factor is walking. Determination. So that works and forces you to see the cessation sooner and faster than without putting any inclination. Okay? Inclining the mind towards the cessation. Even though we talk about this cessation, seeing the cessation, experiencing the cessation, you will see, you won't see, you will feel, you won't feel. It might seem like you see it. Those kind of things will keep on going. But when a yogi has reached to the insight of the solution, the fifth level of insight of the solution, in Pali is called Bhanga Jnana. Bhanga Jnana. Only when you reach that insight level, a yogi will really and truly sees it and knows it, the cessation of this mind and matter, cessation of physical and mental projects, entirely, completely, experientially, no if or but. You just simply know the cessation. And then only one understand what impermanence, anicca means, suffering, dukkha means, and non-self, anatta means, more profoundly than ever before. Of course, these anicca, dukkha, anatta, you started sensing since you were at the third level of insight, samasana jnana. But at the fifth, bhanga jnana, you profoundly understand it. Understanding the same, but the intensity and sharpness and clarities differ. So that's the first factor. If you want to balance the 5 controlling mental faculties, observe and note the mind and matter precisely, deeply, penetratively, and thoroughly, with the mind inclining to see the cessation of mind and body. That's the first tool one needs to develop. Now the second factor, the second tool, is to incorporate. The second tool to incorporate is to observe seriously, respectfully, and closely. Again, observe. seriously, respectfully, and closely. That's the second factor, the second tool you need to perfect the 5 controlling mental faculties. So, when we say serious, what does it mean in a practical way? Serious, everybody can interpret something somewhat, somehow differently, but it's precise. In this practice, serious means one must slow down. Slow down. All moods, manners, and behaviors, everything must be done slowly. And what does it mean by respectfully? Let's say when you respect a person, an individual, do you jump around in front of him, run around, put your feet up on the desk? No. Your behavior is very composed, conservative. Your movements are not abrupt, quick, or gross. That's how you behave. So it means your attitude and behaviors are gentle and delicate. That is respectful, serious and respectful. Now, there's a third word. The third word is closely. Observe it closely. Observe closely means your observation on the object must be precisely syncing with the present moment, in sync with the present moment. Not a nanosecond before, not a nanosecond after, but right on the dot of the present moment. Satipatthana. Only when you can observe right on the dot at the precise moment, then one will see the object's true nature, Paramatta, ultimate reality. If you are not at the present moment, you will never see the ultimate reality, Paramatta, or the true nature of the object. Of course, you are observing physical objects, mental objects, whatever object that's arising. Let's use an example. The rising movement of the abdomen. When you're observing it, you see your belly or tummy or stomach rising, rising, rising. So belly or tummy is the shape and form. It's a concept. Movement, pure movement, is Paramatta, ultimate reality. But you are seeing both mixed in. And when you see it, you see it. You don't just block it, you don't just push it away. You acknowledge the seeing of the form, or the size or the shape. You acknowledge. You don't just throw it away or block it out or push it away. But to be effective and efficient for the practice, one must not pay attention to the conceptual object, which is shape, size, form, and color. Conceptual object in Pali is called piññāti. Piññāti. You don't pay attention. You know it. Oh, okay, you know it, that's it. You don't just dig into it. Digging into it is a paying attention. Holding onto it is a paying attention. You acknowledge it. Whenever they come to the view of your observation, you acknowledge it and let it go without digging further. It might not be quite right, but we can say that shape, size, form, and color. Observe it and acknowledge it. Observe it on a superficial level. Paramatta, ultimate reality, observe it deeply and thoroughly. That's the way one needs to handle the situation. This factor is vital for yogi practicing dry vipassana, or also they call it pure vipassana. What it means is vipassana not mixed with samatha, concentration, meditation. This is very important, how one observe. How we observe seriously, respectfully, and closely, without paying much attention to the conceptual objects and paying great attention, deep attention into the ultimate realities. Mahasi tradition stressed on it, promotes it. Pure vipassana or Satipatthana vipassana practicing yogis. This is very important. That's a second factor or second tool one needs on the road to perfection of the 5 controlling mental faculties. The third factor or the third tool is to establish uninterrupted, continuous observation, or you can say uninterrupted, continuous mindfulness. Every waking moment's responsibility. For yogis who are practicing for liberation, that is very important. Not just, okay, I'll go have a meditation retreat for 3 months, after that come back, whatever I gain, good, I gain this, I gain that. Not that level. Somebody who wants to escape from samsara, this part is very important. To establish, to develop uninterrupted, continuous mindfulness. It is yogi's responsibility. How much? How long? I think I've said it in some other cases. Let's say I'm going to meditate till I attain path wisdom. Number 1. Number 2, I will only sleep 3 to 4 hours a day. Every waking moment, I'm not going to take a break because I'm tired or because I'm bored. Same old thing, same old thing. No. And also, I'll make sure there's no gap between the preceding and succeeding objects. That kind of aditana, resolved mind. And also, you must practice all 3 postures and daily activities. Sitting postures, walking posture, and lying down posture. And every daily activities must be in a very slow mode and observe as detailed as possible. No quick work, except for emergency, of course. Because this is an intense meditation, 21 hours a day, every day, no break, no gap. So one needs a balance in posture to keep your body lucid and maintain some health, good health. Too much sitting is not too good. Too much walking, not too good. Balanced mode. A balanced approach does not favor any posture. Oh, I like sitting. I got good concentration. I'll sit 3 times more than walking. Some yogi actually did it because they think they have a very good concentration and they are very close to enlightenment. Having concentration, having calm and tranquility is not vipassana. You have drifted and shifted into samatha, even though you are practicing vipassana. Keep that in mind. And of course, after about a few months training, practice, you find that you have more insight in a sitting posture, you may increase that. If one experiences more insight in a walking posture, you may increase in that direction. But at the same time, you are reporting to the meditation teacher every day, so you don't have to worry. The teacher will be telling you which one to increase and what to do, what not to do. Don't have any concern about it, but it is important to know how to do, what to do, when to do. Not out of lightness, but out of the progress of insight. One may shift one posture more than the other. And if you do so, the momentum of the continuous mindfulness, momentary concentration, and insight will come and unfold right under your nose. So for today, we give you 3 tools how to perfect the 5 controlling mental faculties, which will give rise to liberation. May all of you be able to practice mindfulness, insight, meditation, and attain liberation as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.